Is he starting to mow? Niki, no matter how hormonal you are, you cannot kill the lawnmower man. Can we just take a minute to appreciate my behind the scenes snack? These are bugles, nacho cheese. I have ranch ones too. I don't know about any of you guys, but this is like my snack from back in the day when I was a kid. These are so good. So bad for you, but so good. And baby needs a snack, so this is what we're doing. They don't make these like they used to. You used to be able to fit them on your finger. Now they're all tiny and crinkled up. Still tastes good. Not as fun. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing I hauled it but did I like it, and as requested by you guys, what we are going to be reviewing today is ColourPop and everything that I ordered from ColourPop, which this isn't everything. I have one single shadow as well that we're going to talk about, but I have the Up and Away lip collection, the I Like Your Face highlighter palette, and the Yes Please eyeshadow palette. I got all confused for a minute because I'm like, yes please, but it says cute as fuck on here. No, it's Yes Please. I guess they only wanted to put it on the outside box. Whatever. So if you guys want to see some swatches and my personal opinions and reviews on these products, then just sit tight and we'll get right into it. So let's start off with the single shadow that I got. Now when I was originally on there, before the palettes actually launched, it was the day before, I didn't know that they were launching, I wanted to grab their single shadows because I had seen it on, I think it was Nicole from Young, Wild, and Polished. I was looking at her snaps because that's the only place you can see her these days. But anyway, I was looking at her snaps and she got, like, she gets PR from ColourPop. So she got all of their single shadows and they looked really, really pretty swatched. So this was the one that really caught my eye. This one is in Ready or Yacht. So it's like Ready or Not, only they switched it for Yacht because they're trying to be fancy. But this was beautiful and I thought it would be great as a lid color, an inner corner highlight, or a brow bone highlight, really anything. So I grabbed it and you can see the reflectiveness in it just like this. So I was very, very excited about this, and when you swatch it, it looks gorgeous. It's completely gorgeous, and I think that these were on sale for $4 a pan instead of their regular $5. Now if you really think about this, you guys, you get 1.5 grams in here for $5. Let's look at a Makeup Geek shadow. Now here is a Makeup Geek shadow and you get actually 0.3 grams more in a Makeup Geek shadow. This is 1.8, this is 1.5, and these are, I believe, $6, and these are way better quality than the ColourPop. So the $5 thing that they do, it's kind of like their MO to make a lot of their stuff $5. It makes them affordable, but if you think about it, their single shadows should not be $5. That's way too much for the quality of them. They're very powdery, they go very quickly, and they're not as great quality as, say, something like Makeup Geek, which is $1 more for way better quality. So that irks me a little bit. I think that these should be around $2.50 to $3, and that would make more sense to me. It would make them a lot more relatable and affordable. You know, just because you label everything $5 doesn't mean that it's actually all worth that $5. So back to how I feel about this. It's beautiful when you swatch it. It's a little chunky, it has a lot of kick up on it, but it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's got a light reflectiveness, but that's only when you swatch it. I tried using this with a brush that was wet. Like, I wet the brush a little bit and I used it this way on my lid. You guys, it was horrible. It didn't even show up. I tried to use my finger. It was a little bit better, but there was still no reflectiveness to it. There was no, it wasn't like it looked like on Nicole's snap. It wasn't like it looked on in the pan. It's nothing about this looks how it looks in the pan on your eyes. And it actually turns a darker, almost orange color. I don't know if you'll be able to even tell, but it has like an orangish tint that is just, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I don't even know if I'll even use this for anything because it's not what I was hoping it would be. But for the price, no, and I'm not ordering from ColourPop anymore. So if you guys want to know why, I will leave that video down below, but no. Alright, let's move on to the Yes Please Cute as Fuck palette. And I don't really know, like, is it called Yes Please or Cute AF? You know, like, which one is it? Because it says Yes Please on the original box and Yes Please back here, but then it says Cute AF on the front, so I'm not really sure. I'm a little bit confused by this. They are cruelty free, so that's a good thing, and they do label the colors on the back if you need to know what they are. I don't really like that. I really wish that they would have done that on the inside of the palette, just because you can tell the cheapness of this because of that. They can't even really get the labels straight, and they can't do that because I'm pretty sure that people actually do this. It's in a factory, but it's not actually like a robot or a machine that is doing this. It's people. So you're not really going to get a straight label, and if that bothers you, you're not going to like it. But there's no mirror. It just says ColourPop, hashtag ColourPopMe. It's like they're promoting themselves, so you know which hashtag to use when you're showing the palette. Now you get 12 shades, which is really nice. For the size of the palette, because it's quite small, getting 12 shades is really cool. However, these are smaller pan sizes than their single shadows. Their single shadows, which are even smaller than other single shadows, are 1.5 grams. These are 0.85 grams. So you are getting quite a bit less in these palettes, but honestly, who goes through a whole palette and hits pan on every single one very easily? So maybe that will make it a little bit easier for people to actually go through the palette with it being a smaller size. So that's not something that I'm too worried about, but it's definitely something to note. But let's start with the swatches of this. I'll start with the first row and move my way down for each swatch here. The top row is more of the mattes. It has 3 mattes and 1 shimmer. They're not bad at all. You have like a setting shade, and then you have some transition shades, and then you have that kind of shimmery reddish color. And I definitely like all of those colors. I think they're very vital. And then moving into the second row is probably my favorite row. I love every single color in there. That's my kind of colors. The colors just pop, and they're pretty, and they're warm, and I adore that. I adore that row. And then the last row, you have some pretty unique shades in here. You have a yellow, which you don't really see a lot in palettes anymore these days. And it's pretty pigmented too for a very cheaper company's yellow. So I was very shocked with that. And then that third shade in is just so beautiful and unique, and it's really what gravitated me towards wanting the palette. So really, the color selection in this palette is really spot on, especially for warm tone lovers. I think that it's amazing. So moving on to the formula of this. The formula, you get what you pay for. This is a $16 palette. So, and you're getting 12 shades for $16. That, you're really getting what you pay for. When you put your brush in here, it's going to really have a massive amount of kick up on you. When you're using it on your eyes, a lot of these shades will have enormous amounts of fallout. I don't think I've ever experienced as much fallout with a palette as I have with this one. However, on the eyes, they do blend amazingly. I created this look that I'm wearing today with this palette, and I had no problems at all blending it. The only problem that I had was the fallout. I was like, wow. I used this shade here, the darkest shade, to kind of like darken up the outer V, and it was just like, I felt like half or more of the product was just right here on my cheek. And with that happens with a darker shade, it's very like, shit, you know, like I did not like that. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, you just get what you pay for. There's problems with this because it's a cheaper formula, it's a cheaper brand, you know, but it's really good for what it is. I can't say that con without saying that pro, okay? Because it's not going to be like a Morphe palette even, you know, but it's not far off from Morphe. It's not going to be a high-end kind of formula. This is not what they're going for. They are a cheaper brand. But for being a cheaper brand, this is a really good palette. So if you are a warm tone lover, a collector of warm tones, or if you're just trying to like get a collection of warm tones and you need really good selection of warm tones, this is really a great palette to get because you can do so many looks with this. This isn't a palette that you're going to look at and be like, I get no inspiration from. You know, I can only make 1 or 2 looks. No, you can make a lot of different looks out of this palette. So it's very useful. It's very inspiring, which I like that. I like that the palette is inspiring. So this is definitely something that I think is worth it. It's got plenty of cons about it, but the pros outweigh the cons, especially for the price. So if this is something that you were really gravitating for because of the colors, I believe, in my opinion, it's worth getting. Now let's move on to the I Like Your Face This is their highlighting palette in Gimme More. And once again, you have the label on the back, which is incredibly crooked. This one is way more crooked than the other palette. Just like the eyeshadow palette, there is no mirror, just their kind of promotional hashtag. And then you get 6 huge pans. And in here, it is 3.6 grams per pan. So you are getting a pretty nice amount of product here. Now, when you look at the swatches of this palette, it's going to blow you away. The swatches are really nice. It's a really great looking formula when you use it with your finger. That being said, for me personally, how I feel about this, it's only good if you use it with your finger. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I can't sit here and say that I do. I think that if I keep this, which I'm not even sure I will keep this, if I do keep this, I'm going to use it for eyeshadow maybe. Maybe. This one here, I would say, because I'm wearing this today as a highlight, which you can see it does have some nice light reflectiveness, but if I could have showed you how much of this shade, and this shade that I piled up on my cheeks to even get that kind of payoff, it's insane. And this color here is, there's different formulas in here. Some of the shades are so wet feeling and chunky, and they sit on your skin. Like all of them, I feel, sit on your skin and don't exactly sink in. And I know since highlighters are all the craze right now, and a lot of us have a ton of them, you know what I mean about certain highlighter formulas that just sit on top of your skin and they don't look natural and it doesn't look cute. And that happens a lot with cheaper palettes. Now this is more expensive than the eyeshadow palette. This is $18, and a lot of people are saying that this mimics the Nicole Guerrero palette, but it's basically half the price of that, and I'd rather have the Nicole Guerrero. You know, like, this is just junk to me. This is horrible. I don't like it. I do know that some people are saying that they love it. I don't know how. I just don't like it. This shade and this shade, I don't even know why they're considered highlighters, because I don't see them working for any skin tone ever. So that kind of confused me a lot. These shades right here, these 3 shades are really the only ones that I would mess with out of the palette. So for $18, I'm only getting to use 3 of them anyway. But they're just, this one right here, I mean, ugh. It's just chunk. It's just pure chunk. And it looks beautiful. It looks really, really pretty on your finger, but when you go in with a brush, it just doesn't give you that reflectiveness. It doesn't. The best I could do was on my Cupid's bow here, and it sits on the skin. There's chunks of glitter in this that float all over your face, and it does move around your face. And even with the setting spray, if I touch anywhere that I put a highlighter on with this on my face, it just instantly disappears. So it's not long lasting. It doesn't sink into your skin. It's not natural looking. It's chunky. There's sparkles in it, chunks of glitter in it that just travel all over your face, and they're not good formulas. And for $18, no. Like, I will most likely be passing this on, because I do know that there are people that say that they like this. It's just, for me, there's no way. There's no way. I have drugstore stuff that's way better than this and was cheaper, so I won't ever reach for it. Alright, and lastly, the 3 kind of lippies that you get in a set is called Up, Up, and Away. And I grabbed this because, once again, this is a warm tone girl's, like, dream come true. You have kind of like a darker nude here, and then you have a more pinky orange, brick red, pinky. I mean, there's so many different weird colors in this. And then you have the one that I'm wearing today, which is more of a terracotta dark orange. So this one is called Mama. And then this one is called Love Bug. And then this one is called Calypso. So you do get a really nice shade range. I love these so much. Now, the Calypso is an ultra satin, and then these 2 are the ultra matte lines. So I think they actually changed the ultra matte line, because the ultra matte line used to be super drying, and I'm wearing this today. It's not drying. Like, it's a very comfortable formula now, so I'm very, very impressed. However, even though it's an ultra matte, it still transfers. When I drink something, anything like that, it still transfers a little bit. And when you go to use these, they are so messy. I mean, so messy. It's almost like there's no stopper in there to take off a little bit of the product. I got it all over my fingers. I mean, I had the hardest time trying to get it off my fingers. I got it all over my vanity. I ended up getting it all over the top of the lid trying to wipe it up. That was something that I didn't care for either, but these are so affordable. They have a humongous range of shades for this, and they're lippies. They're normal lippies, and these are just something that I've always loved. So if we're going to do just a quick little rundown here, the single shadow I don't care for. It's a bummer. I kind of regret buying this, and I don't think that the single shadows from ColourPop are worth it. I think if you want to really get a bang for your buck, spend $1 more and go to Makeup Geek. The QAF palette I think is worth it, especially the other one that just came out too, which is the rose colored one. These are really cute. They're only $16. You get what you pay for. You do need to remember that you're not getting perfection with these, but they are very easy to blend out. The pigmentation is there, and I think that these are worth it. The highlighter palette, the I Like Your Face, no, I would not recommend this at all. I just don't see how this could work for anybody. If this is something that you like and it worked for you, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you use it and why particularly you like this, because I don't know how this works for anybody. I think it's a waste of money, and I think they need to reformulate it and go back to the drawing board on that. Now the lippies, I will always recommend these lippies. They're so affordable, and they're so comfortable, and they have so many good ranges color-wise that I just think these are a great way to go. But once again, not perfection. You know, ColourPop is not perfection. So that is my thoughts and feelings on the ColourPop line that I got. Once again, I also do need to say in this that I am no longer buying from ColourPop because of my experience of ordering these products with them. The shipping time and the customer service were so horrendous that I just won't do it. Not for the quality. I mean, they have great stuff for the price, but it's just not worth going through the hassle that I went through and the disrespect that I went through for something that is the quality like it is. So I'm just not going to be repurchasing from them, and I do not condone or like their customer service or their shipping times or how they deliver with new launches and shipping. I think that it is really, really bad. So that is just my opinion. If you guys have these products and you have an opinion as well, leave them down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Put it on me.